Okay, you said I said it, that you guys have been able to help the government of America by helping those who are within the low income category,
Yes,
threshold, right?
Golk Radio, pushing kingdom boundaries to a whole new level.
Hello, I want to welcome you to God of Love Kingdom Radio. We call it Golk Radio, where we share God's word with passion. Today, I have in the studio with me a very amiable and beautiful lady. She is the CEO and the founder of Modaly Incorporated. So I want you to help me and join me as we welcome Ms. Zini. Ms. Zini, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, Ms. Zini is the CEO of Modaly Incorporated, and before she joined us in the studio, I took my time to do a little bit of research, and I discovered that Modaly Incorporated has been in full operation consecutively for 3 years running. And I want to ask you, Ms. Zini, within these 3 years, this Modaly is a non-profit organization that is registered in the United States of America. And so, Ms. Zini, within these 3 years, what has Modaly been doing?
Yeah, Modaly is a non-profit, community-based non-profit organization.
Okay.
We are registered here in the U.S., but we also have a subsidiary in Africa, in West Africa.
Okay.
Particularly in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, West Africa. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We have a subsidiary called the Modaly Care Foundation, and is also running for these 3 years in Nigeria. It has been running and operational in Nigeria for 3 years now.
Wow. So in the US, it is Modaly Incorporated, right?
Yes.
While in Nigeria, to be specific, it is Modaly Care Foundation.
Right.
Tell me, so what has Modaly Care Foundation done in Africa, in Nigeria?
So, Modaly, we are specifically for the low-income earners.
Okay.
Right, low-income earners. So we are providing some services, some projects to the low-income earners, like the access to health care. We have the education projects. We have entrepreneurship projects.
Okay. All right. So, Modaly, you guys look out. It's like you have a target audience or a target group, which is low-income earners.
Yes. So we actually look out for the low-income earners in the society. They are our target.
Is that only in Africa or in America too?
Yeah, both in Africa and America, because that is our focal area. So we help them.
So you said your target is those that are within the bracket of low-income earners, right? So how do you reconcile that in Africa, a low-income earner is different from an American low-income earner?
Yes, so in the US here we use data. The poverty level, the poverty threshold in the US is that for individual it will be around $15,000 annually, and for a family of 4 it will be like $30,000. Those are categorized as low-income earners. So
you're telling me when an individual, just say one person, right? Mm-hmm. If your earning is below a certain threshold, say $15,000, you're considered as a low income. Oh my goodness! Do you know what you're telling me? So that means in Africa, say in Nigeria, if you are earning that, you are already in millions. So will you also be considered as a low income earner?
Well, that's why it's different.
Okay.
Yes, every localities things are different. So in Nigeria, we do not have such data at hand, so we deal mostly with the communities. So we come into communities, of course, the rural communities, the
rural areas, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
the villages and all of that, right?
Right.
Okay.
So of course we know that those in the villages, most of them, it might not be all, but most of them are below income earners.
Their income is very low, right?
Yes.
Now, okay, so can you tell me, within these 3 years that you guys have been in operation, are there any projects that you have successfully carried out, whether in America or in Nigeria?
We have done some amazing projects both in America and in Nigeria.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so in Nigeria, in the area of healthcare,
Okay.
we have partnered with organizations in Nigeria.
Okay.
In fact, we partner with an organization in Abuja. Abuja is the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, so we partner with an organization that held workshop to train or to educate women on the issue of infertility.
Okay.
We know that there are a couple of women at the moment having infertility issues. It has been a rampant case in many places, which is also found in Nigeria. Some of these women have conceived before.
Okay.
Some have not conceived at all.
Okay.
Those that have conceived before, their cases are termed like secondary infertility, where a woman have had 1 or 2 children in the past and they are having issues to conceive again.
Okay.
So these women, they are being categorized as having infertility. So we held a workshop, and this workshop was specifically to teach them how to be able to manage their cases and how to help themselves naturally to come out of this issue. And then we also have, of course, the medical aspect of it, where they are being treated. So Modaly, in partnership with this company, with this organization, Modaly specifically sponsored 20 women,
wow,
and their spouses, right, to go through to take this treatment. They went through evaluation and treatment of their infertility.
That is amazing. So, because I was going to ask you, is this all about women? But from what you just said, so
It's
their
inclusive.
spouses is inclusive.
Yes.
Their spouses were involved
Right.
in part of these treatments and
yes.
all of that. So they had to go for evaluations and things like
Yes.
that. You know, if you are joining us, we are talking to Ms. Zini. Ms. Zini is the CEO of Modaly, and she has just made a remarkable statement about how they are reaching out to families who are dealing with the issues of infertility. You know, in Africa, I can tell you that it's one major issue that when a family is having delays in childbearing, usually after wedding and all of that, that can be bring a whole lot of pressure.
The stigma is too much
Right.
for the women.
And so Modaly, in partnership with some other organizations,
Right.
are bringing hope
to women.
And so, like you mentioned, so there could be some other hospitals that you guys are also in partnership beyond the organization that organize a workshop.
Yes, so we are in partnership with hospitals where we send the women for treatment, for evaluation and treatment. And then we also have the project of treating women through IVF. So they go through IVF procedures. With
IVF, that is in vitro fertilizations,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So in Abuja, you guys were doing that there, or?
Yes, we have we partner with a hospital in Abuja where we send people there, those that are local to Abuja.
Okay.
Yeah, we have also conducted this same projects in the eastern part of Nigeria.
Oh, so you did the IVF program also in the eastern part. So it's
Yes.
not only
In
Abuja.
Abuja, yes.
Oh my goodness. This is getting nice and sweet, I can tell you. Not just because they are providing support to women, but they are also making it all inclusive. So men are not being left out.
No, men are not being left out. Everyone is treated, because you can't treat a woman and not the spouse. So everyone is treated, both the women and the
That
husband.
is remarkable. And I know you mentioned even in the area of education in that sector. So have you guys done anything in that area too?
We have in the educational sector. First of all, here in the US,
Okay.
we have a project for digital literacy.
Okay.
It is, since we have identified these low income earners, so what we are doing is to have them being trained in digital literacy, specifically in cyber security, and this is to
That's information technology,
yes,
right?
information technology. So
Okay.
this is to help them break into tech sector.
Okay.
That way we are sure that they are being lifted from their financial status into a self-sufficient state
A
where
more
they can
stable earning and all of
right, where they can be able to take care of themselves and
Okay.
take care of their families.
that without having to rely.
Depend on government services like the food stamp and the rest of the programs that the government provide for the low income earners.
So you guys are indirectly helping the American government
yeah, you
take
could
care
say
of,
that.
of
You
their
could say-
citizens, right?
You could say that.
So
because
are you guys not also helping those in Africa take care of their citizen with any digital literacy program?
we are. So in Nigeria, we have a project, a digital literacy project. However, in Africa, our structure is different from how
Okay.
it is in
In
America.
the United States,
Yes, in the
okay.
United States, right? Because in the United States, there are structures already in place. There are things that we only need a little boost to be able to help
Leverage.
to help the people. But
Okay.
in Nigeria, we had to build the structure because we have conducted the need assessment.
Okay.
We see what the people need, and we know that because the project is an after-school program,
Okay.
we needed to build a physical structure that will be able to house this project, and we set it up, right? We set up the digital literacy center. We have a mini library, and then it is solar powered, right?
Okay.
Yeah, where we are using renewable energy, because we know that Nigeria is a tropical country. We know that
There's enough
there
sunlight.
is enough sunlight to be able to generate the
Oh my
energy
goodness.
that we need to run the
So-
center, right?
So we're not
Because
talking about global warming here. There's enough energy.
there is enough energy
that's coming from the sun and all of that.
Yes,
and,
because in the area, actually, there is this issue of power supply.
right,
Where,
I know about that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not familiar with this term, epileptic power
oh
supply.
my God, the lights can go off, the electricity
Any
can go
point
out at
in
any
time,
time,
okay.
and yeah, first of all, we don't want the equipments to go bad, and
Okay.
we don't also want interruption.
Okay,
with
intermittent
the-
interruption in
yeah,
the course of
the
running the
training,
trainings
the
and all
center,
of that.
yeah.
So what you're telling me now is you guys have a program where you are actually constructing and building a digital literacy
Yes,
center.
yes.
How
For
did you come about that?
So we conducted need assessment. We went into the community.
Okay.
When we came, we look at the school structure.
You identify some
identified
areas
that-
of need.
Yeah, we saw that the students are lacking so much. Most of the students, they know what a laptop is, but most of them have not actually worked with one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's
So
amazing.
we know that Of course, even in the world, in the global sector, everyone is talking about digital. Everything
Right,
is going
right.
digital.
Everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then these kids are more like they
In
are
this time and
lacking. Yeah,
age.
they are lacking in this area. So we know that we actually had to come in to make sure that we close this gap, this
Okay.
digital divide gap
Gap,
in that
right.
community, that we close it up. So this program is running, or is structured to run as an after school program,
Okay.
where the students have gone to school in the morning, they
Okay.
come back in the evening after
Yeah,
refreshment.
after school programs,
They
right.
come
So
into the center for their training. So they are being trained in basic computer sciences, they are being trained in just anything computer, but it's being structured, right? We can talk about system administration. You talk about training them in softwares, that even after their program, their school programs, some of them, we are sure that they can be able to get a space somewhere and start a living.
I'm sure the community itself must be excited with
Oh
what you
yeah,
guys are
the
doing.
community they were inside. In fact, they are part of the project. They are the one that, as out of their own excitement, they donated a piece of land where
Wow.
this structure is built,
Being erected, right?
Yes.
My
So
goodness.
because they know that this is what they need for their children, so they are so much excited. They are involved, and in it too, they are also being used. The people of the community are also the ones being used to carry out this project. So as much
What
as
do you mean carry out this project in terms of providing manual labor or what?
yes, so
Okay.
they are the ones providing labor in building the structure.
So in this case, I want to believe it is the men that are doing this, right?
Yes, the
so
men.
is it only men that you guys are helping in terms of, this kind of because in the course of doing that, you're providing them with employment, so to speak, right?
Yes.
And so they are earning some things, right? So is it? So what do you do for the women?
For
the
the
women need to
women.
come and work there too?
No,
Oh, okay.
they
All
don't
right.
need to come and work there.
Okay.
However, we have another program,
Okay.
the program of entrepreneurship,
Okay.
skill acquisition,
Wow.
and then the small business setup. We have this program where there are people, they don't have businesses, right?
Okay.
Some already have the business, but they don't have the finance to run it.
Okay.
So the people in that category will provide microfinance for them to continue their projects. The ones that doesn't have anything already doing, we train them in a skill that they themselves say this is the area we want to go. So we provide trainings for them. We help them set it up. We also have these projects both in that locality where we have this digital training center going on, but we also have it in different locations, because whatever we are doing, actually we are replicating it to other areas.
So if I understand you clearly, this is not in Abuja.
Not in Abuja, but we have
This digital center is where in
the eastern part of
Eastern
Nigeria,
part.
in Abia State.
In Abia State, to be
Yes,
precise,
to be
right?
precise.
Okay, so you're looking at in educational sector. So is that how you guys structured it? Because you say you structured things differently. So is it health in Abuja and then education in Abia?
No. So the program we are running is every state. Like we have a project, we have run the education back to school program.
Okay.
In Lagos.
In Lagos State.
Yeah, in Lagos State. So we partnered,
Lagos is in the western part of Nigeria.
Right.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah,
so tell me about it. I'd like to hear about that.
We partnered with an organization in
Okay.
Lagos State.
Okay.
They went to this riverine rural area for
remote area, right?
area for back to school supply.
Okay.
Actually, they went through the river using a boat to that location.
My goodness.
Yeah, we also have this project of scholarship to school children, that we have given them scholarship, children going back to school, making sure that they are able to, those that already dropped out because of school fees, we pay up their school fees, making sure that they are back to school. Because it is about the impact. We want to make sure that as much kids that we can reach, they are able to have access to education.
Okay, so not only just back to school, you guys also provide scholarship
Yes.
to select number of students, right?
Yes.
So how do you select? Because if somebody says, "Oh, you guys can come and pay the school fees of," is it you're working with the community to identify indigent students?
Yes. So
And-
we work with the community to identify indigent students, because they know the ones that their parents cannot afford their school fees. They know the ones that have stopped going to school because of school fees.
There's
So
no one to sponsor
them. So when we go into the community, we talk with the community leaders. They help us to identify these
those
ones that need,
that will be the
need.
recipients
Yes.
of this program.
Right.
This is amazing, and I tell you, it's been wonderful talking with Miss Zini. Miss Zini, she is in charge of their operation in the US and in Africa, in Nigeria to be precise, right? And so, Miss Zini, you talk about this help. So for indigents, so does that also include those in orphanages and all of that? Because when I look at their motto, it says Modaly affections. It's like a compassionate organizations. So
yeah, we have visited orphanages.
Okay.
So many orphanages. We have gone providing supplies to them.
Supplies like what?
Supplies like food,
clothing,
the basic things that they can use.
Oh, that's good.
To run the facility.
Do you guys give them toys too?
We do.
Oh, that's nice.
We do. That's what the children like best.
Of course, I know that. So this is one of the things that excites me, having you around, that this is what you guys have been doing, making an impact in a unique way.
Right.
Within 3 years running, you guys have been able to, like you said, I said it, that you guys have been able to help the government of America by helping those who are within the low income category, threshold, right? And then also in Africa, you are making effort to support those having to deal with infertilities and stuffs like that in educational sector, and even those who are having businesses and all of that. You provide financial support for that. Goodness, isn't it wonderful? And these things, you guys are funding it by yourselves.
Yes, so Modaly is funding it. We are funding it as Modaly Incorporated, and then as Modaly Care Foundation.
Modaly Care Foundation.
Yes.
Okay. Now, because I'm looking at our time here, before I let you go, Ms. Zini, are there other programs that you guys have running that you haven't mentioned to us?
Yeah, we have another program going on right now.
Okay, where, in America or in
Africa?
In Africa, in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Okay, what is that program about?
So we identified that so many students have these challenges. Remember, I mentioned that there is this electricity issues
that's
in
a
the
given,
country.
right? Yeah, that's a given.
So many students, they find it difficult to study at night.
Okay.
They don't study immediately. It's like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. They are not able to study.
Difficult.
It becomes very difficult, and the ones that do through our need assessment, we identified that some of them use torchlight to study, some use candles, some use kerosene lamps, which
Yeah,
is very
I
difficult to
know.
melt, and
It's dangerous.
It's very
It's,
dangerous.
not just
Could lead
difficult,
to, yeah,
right.
it could lead to anything.
Right. There have
So,
been explosions because
Yeah.
of that, and where you have adulterations going on.
Yes.
So what is Modaly doing about that?
So what Modaly is doing is to give these students solar lamps,
Okay.
yeah, that they can charge in the afternoon and then to use it to read at night.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
so and we have identified that this has helped most of them to be reading at night, which has also increased their academic performances.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, which is our end goal, to
That's-
ensure that students are able to read and then their academic performance increase.
I wish there was Modaly during my own days, and I tell you, I'll be one of those who will enlist to be a recipient of such things, because this is amazing what you guys are doing. And so how can someone reach you? And I had wanted to ask you, so do you guys solicit for support, and what kind of support? If anybody wants to identify with you, where can they reach you? And is there anything that Modaly may want them to know in terms of perhaps your expectations for those who would want to identify with you?
Yeah, I know that everyone have a heart of care, a heart of support to partner with us. It is on the screen there.
Okay.
www.modaly.org.
Modaly.org.
That's our website. You can
Okay.
go there and know more about us. You can also write to us.
Okay.
info@modaly.org.
Okay.
We will respond back to you.
Okay.
We are open to take in-kind donations. We are open to take monetary donations, and we are even also open for volunteers.
Okay.
Professionals, because it's a digital world. Even though the center is in Africa, if you can teach any programming language, if you can help the kids in Africa with any skill training, they can work with you remotely. So we are also looking for volunteers that can be able to teach professionally to the children.
Okay, so if there's a medical doctor who is out there that would want to partner with you or an organization itself, so Modaly would be more than willing to work with them.
Right.
And in the course of doing that, you will be changing a life or touching a life. Or
Sparking change, one life at a time.
Sparking change, one life at a time. I love that. That's just like what we say here in Golk Radio. We say we sharing love of God with passion. So for Modaly is sparking change, one life at a time. We're out of time now, and it's been a wonderful time having Ms. Zini in the studio. Ms. Zini, thank you for finding the time to join us here and to tell us about the beautiful things that you guys have been doing, making impact in your unique way. Remember, you too can make a difference. Let your light shine. Let it shine forth as Modaly is shining their light within these 3 years. Families have been impacted, and hope has been brought to many in a hopeless situation. And that's just what we are all about, making a difference, sparking a change, one life at a time. My name is Juma, and I'm the host here in Golk Radio. So thank you for joining us, and God bless you.
Golk Radio, pushing kingdom boundaries to a whole new level.